Name's Robert Bradford. I'm 36 years old. See, we've been homeless for 15 months now. It's the result of a car accident in which there was no insurance to pay any of the bills while I was bedridden and so on. That's how we ended up where we're at. Things are finally starting to look up now that I got some medical treatment, but you know, it's a long process.
Tell me about family, wife.
I've got my wife here with me. We sent our kids back to Albuquerque when we saw we were going to end up on the street. That's where we came here from, was Albuquerque, and I still had some cousins down there that were willing to take them in, and so they'd have a familiar environment so it wouldn't be so traumatic for them. But the wife refused to leave me alone to deal with it by myself, which I guess given my medical condition at the time was probably smart, but I wasn't happy about it then and I'm not now. The kids are 15 and 13-year-old girls, so at least they're old enough to comprehend the ins and outs and why things had to be the way they are. But we sent the wife's cell phone with them, so at least we can still talk to them daily, and you know.
Are they staying with relatives?
Yeah,
or?
cousins.
Okay.
My immediate family's spread out all over the country. Like, I grew up in Boston. I've still got a sister in that area, another sister in Philadelphia, one that travels the country running marathons. I mean, you know, we're spread out everywhere. Wife doesn't really have much family to speak of. She's the only child of an only child. So, yeah, there's not a whole lot family-wise to tell for her.
Now what, so you came from Albuquerque?
Yeah.
What were you doing there before you came here? Before the accident, tell me about what it was.
When we were in Albuquerque, I was running a restaurant, like I guess like a cross between Denny's and Sizzler. You know, it was a diner steakhouse that served breakfast all day and served beer and wine, but no hard liquor, you know, that kind of thing. I was the GM of that place. And then we came here because that entire franchise got shut down nationwide by the corporate office. And we looked around like, well, we're ready for a change anyway, and decided to come here. And then here I picked up cooking, and that's what I was doing at the time of the accident. At the time of the accident, I was actually catching a ride home from work when we got in the crash that burned my legs.
So tell me about what happened to your legs. They got burned?
Yeah, the driver of another car on the other side of the freeway had fallen asleep and came across the median and hit us head on. I don't really remember much except seeing the headlights coming at us, thinking this isn't going to be good, and then it's 4 days later. But what they tell me is the back half of the car had caught on fire, and my legs were still on the floorboard, but my torso had fallen out of the car onto the roadway, and the seat foam was melting and dripping this hot, burning polyurethane type material onto my legs, which was then scorching them, and as it cooled, it formed a shell that then had to be torn loose by the emergency department, which took more tissue with it, and there you go. About 3.5 centimeters deep at the worst.